From March 31st, Bulgaria and Romania will partially join the Schengen area. This will allow free movement for any sea or air-based travel between member states for 400 million citizens. The two countries have been members of the European Union since 2007, but they were not part of the border-free area. For now, travellers are still required to show passports upon entry. Abdulvehab Ejupi reports.
Bulgarian airports are prepared for the new rules of entry after Bulgaria enters Schengen. Salons are divided into two, for travelers who arrive from countries in Schengen and for those from outside. As of 31st of March, when traveling by air or sea to and from a Schengen member state, passengers' identity cards and passports will no longer be checked.
It will be very beneficial for passengers, especially for Schengen passengers, because you don't need to pass through border police control, so it will be faster and smoother when you are flying to a Schengen country. The same for when you are landing and coming from a Schengen country.
Bulgaria's entry into Schengen will also provide an opportunity for development in the region. There are about 15 small airports in Bulgaria, which are not widely used because they don't have border controls. With Bulgaria's entry into Schengen, private jets will be able to fly directly to European countries from these small runways. Romania will also join Europe's borderless travel zone. The port of Constanta will rapidly increase its importance, according to Prime Minister Marcel Ciuceau, who is glad to have the agreement settled.
After 13 years of waiting, we finally have a political agreement. The lifting of air and sea borders from March 2024 represents a right win after long negotiations, but things will certainly not stop here. We will continue our efforts next year for full accession to the Schengen area, and I'm glad that all the signals we have shown that this objective has been achieved.
If you are driving or arriving by train or bus into Romania and Bulgaria, however, you will still need to carry ID, as rules governing land border have not yet been established. Austria vetoed full Schengen membership for fear of an influx of migrants. But the European Council says it will continue talks to lift land border checks later this year. Abdulvehab Ejupi, TRT World.
Bulgarian Prime Minister Nicolae Denkov has said negotiations regarding the control of land borders are ongoing, adding that lifting border controls would have a positive impact on the economy.
Land border control is still there, as you know, so there will be a serious negotiations how to lift the land border control, which is important also for the Turkish companies that transport goods to the countries in the Central Eastern Europe. So I do hope that there will be support from the other countries to convince Austria that actually nobody has any benefit of keeping the land border control between Bulgaria and Romania and Hungary. And it creates a problem for the business. It creates a problem also for the tourists that are coming by land, and some of them are coming to Turkey, to Greece as well. So I think there are very serious logical arguments why we should remove also the land border control. And then it will be better for all of us.
Let's bring in Vladimir Vano, who is a chief economist of Globsec. He joins us now live from Bratislava. Thank you for being with us. Right, so Austria had initially objected to expanding the zone, essentially fearing more illegal immigration, but then later agreed that the two Balkan states could enter the zone in stages. I wonder, do you share these worries?
Unfortunately, the subject of full-fledged entry of the Romania and Bulgaria into the Schengen zone became part of the realpolitik of European Union. The decisions of the EU Council need to be taken unanimously, and in Austrian internal politics, the topic of the illegal immigration plays an important role, and the Balkan area is perceived as one of those hotspots through which the organized smugglers bring in the illegal migrants, and countries like Austria and Germany, which are on the receiving end of these flows, take this therefore very sensitively. Nevertheless, the European Commission has made it clear that the expansion of the Schengen zone, including the removal of the land controls, will continue in 2024. Technical conditions are there. The Frontex the external border control of the European Union simply needs to convince the remaining opposition within the Schengen members that the external borders of the EU will be protected as well as possible. Nevertheless, this decision still plays an landmark importance for both these countries. Both Romanians and Bulgarians are an important part of the labor force in the Western Europe.
Right.
Many of them do commute by air, so this will be felt both in terms of the labor migration as well as in terms of tourism.
That's correct. And on the flip side, is this good for the economy of Bulgaria and Romania? And if yes, in what ways? For what sectors specifically?
Full integration, and we have seen it with previous accessions into the Schengen zone, is certainly an important boost for the local economy. As we speak, Romania has analyzed that staying outside of the Schengen zone with the land borders cost the country around 2 billion annually. The boost for Bulgaria could be around 4 to 5% of GDP, so it's non-negligible, and the routes along which this economic benefits, especially in the long term, would materialize are obvious: trade, tourism, investments, labor mobility, as discussed, as well as the environmental impact. Let's not forget that those lines on the borders don't benefit the air quality.
Right. Vladimir Ivano, unfortunately, we are running out of time, but thank you very much for being with us.
Thank you for your invitation.